Hi guys, I'm Lisa and I'm back with another video. Wednesdays are usually when I try to fit in a top 5 Wednesday video, but as I didn't really know which books to add for this week's topic, I have another video for you because I have decided to join in on 2 readathons. The first one is only going to be running for the weekend from Saturday to Sunday. And the other one is going to be starting on Sunday and continue on for a whole week. And those 2 readathons are 24 in 48 and Diverseathon. I'll get into the specifics of the Diverseathon later. Right now I'm going to focus on 24 in 48 hours. And that readathon is a readathon where you are going to be reading for 24 hours during the 48-hour period, so you can divide this into any way you want, like 2 sessions of 12 hours, or 6 sessions of 4 hours, or 4 sessions of 6 hours, or more hours one day than the other, depending on if you have any plans and stuff to also have to consider. However you want, just as long as you read for 24 hours over this weekend. And so I saw this challenge was going to happen from Jenny King, and I'll leave a link to her channel down below. She was just briefly talking about it, mentioning it, and I checked in all about it. I thought it was a fun readathon. I've never joined like the Jewish 24-hour readathon thing where you try to read as many books over 24 hours as you can. So I think this is similar, but in a way you also get breaks and stuff. You can sort of do something else as well, because it's not consistently over 24 hours. And during the 24-hour in 48 readathon, the first thing I'm gonna focus on is actually finishing the books that I'm currently working on. The first one is Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I am about 150 pages into this one, and it's about a 400 pages book, so still have about 300 pages left. I also want to finish Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I started this back in November and I have not yet finished it because I put it down because of other readathons, and I haven't gotten back to it until now. And I'm on page 226 out of 490 pages, so it's close to 500 pages book, and I am about close to halfway through with it. And I also have one more book going on, and it's a Kindle book, and it's called Say Will by Kate Perry. I'm about 59% through, so I don't have a lot of pages left of this one, so just want to finish it, and I feel like this was at the time when I needed to do that. And we'll see if I'll add another Kindle read into it, but this is what I'm gonna focus on the first day. Since Diverseathon is going to be starting on Sunday, I'm gonna have to add some diverse books for Sunday. And I also want to, it's not that I don't want to read those books, but I just wanted to finish the books that I'm currently working on first. Then I also want to have an audio going. I think I might have one going when I get there, but I'm not sure which one it's gonna be yet. I'm considering getting into another Dresden book because the last one I finished was really, really interesting. But on the other hand, it could also be that I'll find a diverse sort of audiobook that I can listen to, and I can work with that one for Diverseathon as well. So we'll see about that. And it's just going to be so I can still do chores at home, and I'll be listening to the audio while cleaning and doing stuff at home, so it doesn't look like something when I've finished spending 24 hours out of my weekend reading. And it also means I can go for a walk, and maybe I can listen to an audiobook while I'm going for a walk. I think it's very important when you have to be focused about something like this, that you are able to sort of get away from sitting down and all of that, so you can get some fresh air. And yeah, so that's what I'm planning on using the audio for. Finally, I also really want to read Nimona. I just got this recently from a book depository order, and it's a graphic novel I've heard a lot of things about, with really beautiful art, and I'm really interested in seeing what this is all about because it's been praised a lot around BookTube. So this is a book that I'll also try to see if I can get through. And then whatever I can fit into that, or maybe I'll be starting some of the diverse books when I finish these, if I can get through all of these books. Now, onto the Diverseathon. I'm still not finished with what I'm gonna read for the whole weekend, I think, because I'm obviously have 2 days of reading 12 hours at least. 24/48 will be taking place from 21st to 22nd of January, this coming weekend. I'll leave links to the Readathon, information about it, as well as hosts and stuff on down below in the description. And then I want to go on to the Diverseathon. Diverseathon is a readathon where you're trying to read a lot more diverse books with people of color, people of a different sort of sexual orientation than yourself, and just another type of culture. It could also be something dealing with some mental health issues. It could be about some people being blind or deaf, whatever you consider being a lot more diverse than what you're considered the norm. And we are also encouraged to read a lot of own voices books, like from authors who themselves has either experienced it because of their situation, or they are just talking about their own experiences when they're writing the book. And this readathon will be starting on Sunday the 22nd and will continue until, I believe, Saturday. If I'm wrong about this, I'll be adding some information here on the screen so you can see it. And this readathon is not just a readathon where you're just cramming in as many pages as you can over a short period of time. It's more like devouring the book, just sort of feeling the book and being critical about it, what you're reading and all of that. Sort of trying to understand it a little bit, or maybe put yourself in the character's position and all of those things. So take a little more time to read them. And also, just because this is for a week, only for a week, this is actually a marathon that want us to try and broaden our diverse books over the whole year, or just as long as you can, because it's such an important thing that there are diverse books out there, so that they also are able to read something and really connect with the characters, because they feel like they understand them, they can relate to them and stuff. That's all what we all really like to read about, when we can relate to characters. And so it's important there's something that's also possible for them to relate to, as well as also just broaden your knowledge about stuff. Yeah, I'm not really good at explaining myself at the moment, but this is a very important readathon, and so I wanted to join it this time. I wasn't able to join it last time because I was traveling at the time. So now I'm ready to go with this. I will say though, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of own voices diverse books on my shelves. So I think I only have one, and I'm pretty intimidated by it, but I will include it into my TBR, so I'm gonna try and definitely check it out over the readathon. And that is The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. This is a book that's taking place in Afghanistan, following some young boys, I believe. I haven't actually read the blurb, I just know it's set in Afghanistan. It's kind of brutal, and it's also written by an author that's from Afghanistan and has fled from it, and I think he's in Iran or Iraq. I'm sorry if that's completely wrong. So I've heard this is a sort of tearjerker. It's very brutal, and yeah, so that's why I'm hesitant about it, because I'll probably enjoy it in the way that it's written and all of that. I've heard a lot of great things about this book, so I am really looking forward to reading this. But it's funny, this book looks tiny because it's like super thin, but there's absolutely no margin at all in it, as you can see, and the font is actually pretty small. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too much of a problem if I enjoy the book. Yeah, this is obviously the Danish edition, but that doesn't matter. And the other two books I know for sure that I'll be reading over this weekend. Oh, well, Diverseathon week. I may be starting these over the 48 hours thing. That is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Science. I've heard so many great things about this book. It's won a ton of awards, and I want to know what this is going to be all about because it's been standing on my shelf for way too long, and I know this is about some LGBT issues, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. So this is one of them. And then I also have Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli on this. And yeah, this is also a book that's been floating around booktube for so long. And yeah, I also really want to read this one. And it follows a boy who's been blackmailed into telling everyone that he's gay, and sort of about his coming out story. I think I'm looking forward to reading this. The next book that I also have on my Diverseathon list is Annette Galliard that I got recently that I want to read, and I thought it was perfect for this readathon that I could put it in as part of this, and it is called Leo Loves Arias, and male romance book. I don't really know what it's about. I haven't read much of the blurb. I just really thought the cover was first the cover intrigued me, but I also really thought that the subject matter was interesting, so I wanted to check it out and see if it's anything worth reading. And then yeah, I could two birds with one stone, if that's what you want to call it. And then finally I also have one more book on my list, but this is only if I don't have any more books, if I run out of books. And it's mostly because I love fantasy, and so I wanted to add something not completely contemporary to my list as well, and that is going to be The Wrath and the Dawn by Readathons, which is a retelling of the Arabian Nights, and it's a popular book, and I have not yet read it, and I know it's written by an American author, but yeah, this is also on my list. I'm pretty excited about both of the readathons, and I wasn't expecting to participate in 2 readathons over this course of time, but I think it's gonna be pretty funny to participate in both, and I'm really interested in reading some more diverse books. I have wanted to do that for a long time, and I also have started to broaden my reading in that genre, but I definitely could do a lot better, and this is also something that I'll be focusing on onwards after this readathon. And I really also want to read more own voices books where you can sort of better understand it, and know mostly that most of this is definitely true, definitely compared to them, what they have experienced. There could be some different point of views. There's also always 2 sides of a story, and yeah, so whoops, this is my TBR for this next week or so. A lot of books to dive into. Most of them I've read something of, and I will probably have read some more of Truthwitch, as that's the one I'm working the most on right now, of these books. So we'll see how much I'm gonna get read. No matter if I finish the diverse books over the next week, I will be finishing them and forming an opinion about them, because it's not like if I don't get to it, I will just leave it there sitting on my shelf. I really want to get to these books, and I like that I can get this push to sort of get me started on it. Especially the Kite Runner thing. I have had that book on my shelf for, I think, up till 2 years now, and I've just been really intimidated by it, and that's why I haven't picked it up, and I feel sort of bad about that, because I have been wanting to read it for a long time, but I'm always like hesitant about it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be attempting to read this. I don't know if it's the one I'll be starting with, but we'll see what I feel like when I get to that time. So I don't know if I'll be doing any vlogging over the time, but we'll see about that. I don't feel like I'm super good at vlogging because I tend to forget when to sort of add something. I'll try to be pretty active on Twitter and join in on conversations about different things, and yeah. Let me know in the comments down below if you're participating in any of these readathons and what you're thinking of them. Yeah, I'll of course leave links to all of the information about both readathons in the down bar below, as well as links to the hosts, so you can get to know a lot more about these different readathons. I hope you'll enjoy the next couple of days. I am gonna be so busy. Tomorrow I have to go to this business fair, which is like between 1.5 and 2 hours away from here, so I have to drive pretty far. And yeah, I won't be, the fair thing doesn't close until 5, and then we have to remove everything, you know, close everything down before I can go home. So I'll probably be home at like 8 p.m. tomorrow, which sucks. But I'm looking forward to this readathon. This is what I'm looking forward to right now. And I'm also looking forward to listening to a great audiobook while I'm driving tomorrow. Those are the two things that I look forward to the most right now. Not all of the other things. Yeah. And the reason I'm a little about it is because I was told I was going to this fair today at 1 p.m. So I haven't had any time to sort of coordinate anything. So I'm so happy I don't have kids or a dog or something that I had to think about, because that would have been difficult when you find out these things and so close to the deadline thing. Yeah. Anyway, this is me rambling. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video, hopefully very, very soon. Goodbye.